Good morning, SAC students. Today is Thursday, February 27th. I'm Logan Chaney.
And I'm Jessica Renteria, and now over to your top story. The Ukraine's most wanted man, President Viktor Yanukovych, remains on the run as his stunned countrymen tour his dream home, what some are calling it a monument to corruption. President Yanukovych, who in an OpenDemocracy.net reported earned less than $25,000 per year for most of his political career, and is believed to have owned several homes around the nation, but none symbolized his greed and corruption more than the $75 million mansion and a 340-acre estate he completed in 2012. When he became president in 2010, he demolished all the buildings and began building his dream home, a 5-story stone palace with imported marble floors, gold fixtures, and exotic wood, and surrounded by a 35-mile-long, 15-foot-high fence. His dream home illustrates his defiant abuse of power to enrich himself, according to the critics. The 63-year-old Yanukovych served as the president of Ukraine from 2010 until last week, when he was ousted from power. He is now the nation's most wanted man, accused of crimes, including murder and corruption. With the manhunt news on the rise, the home reporters called a monument to corruption open to the people. Thousands of Ukrainians poured out into the grounds over the weekend, marveling at the sheer opulence in which their former president lived. The Ukrainians, still stunned at the greed of their president, are calling for the home to be turned into a hospital, a sanatorium, or even a museum of corruption. The country Ukraine is still in national crisis and in their dark times, so keep the people in prayer as they are fighting for their country. And now over to Logan Chaney with another headline of the week.
Hey guys, I'm here with Officer Floyd, who's been on the force for just under 3 years, going on 3 years. Now, Officer, what we wanted to talk about and really get insight into is the day in the life of a police officer in the SAPD. So what we see on television with police officers, how does that transfer into the real world? I'm sure you've seen television shows with police officers.
Sure.
And how they depict them. Is that very accurate, or is it totally different?
I think some aspects of it are accurate, and that would definitely be, a lot of times you see the camaraderie on TV. There's a lot of shows out there that portray that, and that's true. There is a lot of camaraderie. And in other ways, it's not necessarily depicted properly. Most of us work shifts that we don't get to sleep at home with our families because we work overnight. Some of the things that aren't portrayed is the sleeping pattern. You know, that's something really simple that if your family is on days and you're used to the night schedule, on my days off, I would try to kind of switch over back to my kids' schedule, and it was really hard because they were used to sleeping regular hours and I wasn't. So those are just like little things that are not, portrayed on TV that we have to deal with.
Right, and then you mentioned camaraderie, and something y'all say in the station is the thin blue line. Mm-hmm. And if you want to talk about that a little bit more, your brothers and sisters in blue.
Sure. The thin blue line is basically a term that's used to describe police officers across the nation, really across the world. And it originally started with our uniform, because that, although it looks black, our uniform is actually a really dark navy. Mm-hmm. And most uniforms across the nation are also blue. So the thin blue line just represents the brotherhood and the sisterhood of law enforcement. To a lot of people, it may come across as just a line, but to us, it really is a family crest.
Right, and that extends even to people you don't really know that well on the force also. And then more closer to home, Officer Deckard, who recently passed away while on duty. Could you give us more information on that entire situation and a quick summary on what happened?
Absolutely. Robert Bobby Deckard Jr. is a patrol officer, or was a patrol officer within SAPD, and he was chasing a suspect. There were 2 in the vehicle that were suspected of robberies, and they turned and fired at him while he was pursuing them in a chase. There were patrol cars that were behind him as well. And what is just really, he is the epitome of what a great police officer stands for, because while many people would have been scared in that situation, to include police officers too, because we're people and,
Right.
we do things all the time that we might be nervous to do, but we have to push ourselves beyond that fear. And that's absolutely what he did. Despite being shot at, he continued to pursue these suspects. And ultimately, they were captured. He lost his life in the line of duty, but his bravery is really his legacy.
What did you as an officer learn, and then a station afterwards? What did y'all learn as brothers and sisters in blue from this experience?
Although I never personally met Bobby or worked alongside him, it felt definitely as if I did lose a brother. It's a unique experience to have that bond with him despite having ever actually met him in person. I felt like I knew him because I knew the life that he led, and I knew the morals and values that he stood for, because they're instilled in me as well. Every single time I put on that uniform, you never know what you're walking into. But just the fact that all of us came together, the entire community, not just police officers, but the entire community came together, and it just was a wonderful way to honor him and to really show that love that we have for mankind.
Right. Well, thank you, Officer Floyd, and to the department for allowing us to share, this tribute to Officer Deckard for his sacrifice and for the sacrifices of other officers in the past. So thank you very much. And now over to Isaiah and Hunter with the Sideline Report.
Hi everyone, it's your Sideline Report with Hunter and Isaiah. This week we're starting off with the softball girls playing at 6 p.m. tonight against Providence, and then on Saturday they're going out to Incarnate Word Corpus Christi at noon, and then our baseball team on Friday is going to be going up to Natalia to play them at 7 p.m. So make sure you go check them out.
And Friday we have a varsity track meet here at SACS, and girls soccer has their first playoff game against Fort Bend here at home at 8. And Saturday, boys takes on Lutheran North in Houston at either 1 or 3 p.m.
All right, guys, as you probably know by now, basketball boys, we lost at the quarterfinals this year. We had a great season. It's one of the greatest seasons in SACS history. We went 37-10. That's the most wins in SACS history. So if you get a chance, go out, congratulate our seniors, Chris Wander, John Castaneda, Daniel Armador, Kevin Russell, and Joe Cuthbert. They had a great season, and they led us great. So, yeah.
All right, and now over to Tony with your weather.
Good morning, everybody. This is Tony Renteria with your KSAC Weather Report. Now, recently, there's been some really weird weather because it's been really, really hot or really, really cold, and vice versa. But don't worry, spring is just 22 days away. Temperatures will be highs in the 70s and lows in the 40s. This has been Tony Renteria with your KSAC Weather Report. Now over to Miranda with What's Poppin'.
Yeah. Poppin'. It's poppin'. Okay. Yeah. Poppin'. Hey guys, I'm here with some confidential news. What all the seniors have been waiting for. The superlatives are in, and I'm gonna give them to you. For Best Smile, we have Chris Wander and Ronnie Hartman. Prettiest Eyes, Brady Traynor and Megan Forney. Best Hair, Logan Cheney and Anna Guerra. Most likely to win an Oscar, Sam Adams and Amy Morales. Most Creative, James Skidmore and Steph Quirk. Most likely to win a Nobel Peace Prize, Matt Doogie and Christina Anderson. Most likely to be an Olympian, Turner Googe and Jessica Renteria. Most likely to brighten your day, Trey Court and Bailey McCracken. Most School Spirit, Chris Malvolta and Kelsey Moreland. Class Clown, Ernie Flores and your girl Miranda. Most Changed, Jeremy Dean and Dominique Velasquez. Preppy and Patriotic, Ben Gerlinger and Chrissy Zachariah. Most Granola, Clayton Christian and Hallie Barr. Most likely to win Jeopardy, Kyle Chaffin and Victoria Pham. Worst case of senioritis, Troy Whited and Maddie Brakey. Wall Street Bound, Brett Franklin and Eva Cozart. Most tech savvy, John Harlan and Jessica Welch. That is your 2014 Senior Superlatives. Congratulations.